And hello, everyone. I'm Dan Lutz, and I'm here on the front lines in the battle against the deep state, the cabal, the Illuminonkeys, and all those that wish to enslave all of humanity for their own selfish reasons. Welcome to another bright day, and since we're winning on all fronts, it's amazing to see. I was just looking through the last day of questions, and I found today's a little bit more harder to get through. I was intent on that, so I actually left it, went back, left it. I think I'm just going to wait for some highlights. I saw Trump in Iowa and giving some his rally there, his normal best, and it was fantastic. So all over, we see that there are things going on. Trump has mentioned some other, trade deals not to be put aside. Japan, 40 billion. South Korea, that was renegotiated. He was making a point that that was negotiated by Hillary Clinton, the South Korean deal, and she was promising 250,000 new jobs with that trade deal with South Korea. And she was absolutely correct for South Korea. They had 250,000 jobs, not in America. So he renegotiated that one. And so all over, he's continuing to do everything. Peace in the Middle East now. Initial reactions, I saw Jared Kushner on one of the broadcasts, and he was saying, well, because they initially rejected it. Well, they reject everything. They didn't even have time to read it. All the other ones, these other peace deals, right? Where, there's here's a couple of lines, couple paragraphs, a couple pages. That's the agreement they're working for. This one was 86 pages, if I'm correct on that number, but something like that. Big number. And really, but they say, you got to get rid of your leaders. Because they're not there to basically make a peace deal. They're there to continue to skim off at the top by all the money that flows in. So I think that Trump is cutting through every single major problem he will solve before his first term. Everything. Just solve it all. And then it's like, okay, second term, let's get down to business. Stage is set. Abundance around the world. And it's going to be amazing to watch how this moves forward, but it's also even more fun to participate. So we're in the participation mode. So let's while we're waiting for Tank, see what time he did say he was going to be on. He said he did not want a 5-day work week. I remember when I had 6-day work weeks at one point. That was good. Now it's 7 days. So, but I look forward to that. I've got some actually news about some things, that in relation to what we're always discussing with Tank. So anyway, we'll wait for him to come on, and then I'll get out the intel. So for now, let me flip the screen around here, and we're going to look at QAnon. Yes. There we go. So we're going to start here at 3806, right? This is on the 31st of January. Here, this one is the 29th of January. So, where we left, where the best is yet to come. POTUS references George Washington and American Patriots' victory in Trenton, New Jersey. And remember, he went off to have a rally in New Jersey. And I think, we're going to have quite a revolution going on here of people that are switching from Democrat Party to Republican, and really just consider this really one side, either for America or you're not. And it isn't about Republican. It isn't. It just happens to be the party where this is happening in. Traditionally, there was an aspect of patriotism in the Republic, but the Republicans never went along with the things they were supposed to preaching that they were going to be doing. It was just a puppet show. So they were meant to be the party to lose, which frustrated a lot of people. But anyway, let's move on. 3806. Lindsey Graham confirms Biden Burisma will be investigated outside of the partisan impeachment. Okay, let's go take a look and see what he has to say there.
What he described in effect as a quid pro quo. Why not hear from John Bolton to describe that?
I can assume the following: that the president suspended the aid for a period of time to make sure the Bidens were looked at by the Ukraine, and that the Ukrainians would look at allegations of election interference in 2016. What has been clear to me in this trial, that there's every reason in the world to want to look at Hunter Biden's conduct, that the public purpose that we're talking about is that when Joe Biden, my friend, got up in front of the Ukrainian parliament and said the time for sweetheart deals is over in the energy sector, his son receiving $3 million from Burisma undercut that message, and that will be pursued outside of impeachment. That to me is a legitimate point of inquiry, even if you assume the facts most favorable to the government. And this is not a crime. This is a partisan impeachment. And I'm hoping.
Let me just say, so he's basically saying that they're going to pursue this outside of impeachment. So that would assume there's no witnesses being called. And it really is shaping up. It's starting to look like they're going to just go right to acquittal of this and basically exonerate Trump. Right? So it looks like that's what's going to happen. I'm still not so sure. But anyway, let's see what the end of this is. Another minute and 20 seconds.
Hoping a few Democrats will say, I don't like President Trump, I don't agree with his policies, but we should never do this again, because the House in Republican hands, trust me, could do the same thing. And I may find myself in a position of where a partisan impeachment comes to the Senate involving a Democrat, and I hope I would rise to the occasion.
Sir, on what do you base your increasing optimism that you'll block witnesses?
Everybody believes that there's a scintilla of evidence that the Bidens were involved in business practices that undercut U.S. foreign policy interests in the Ukraine. The manager said this is a hoax, it's been debunked, it hasn't. If there's not a scintilla of evidence, I would argue if you can find a scintilla of evidence, then it makes the president's concerns reasonable, non-personal, and all you need to do is show a public motive, not an exclusively, solely personal motive. I buy what Dershowitz is saying.
Have you heard there are fewer than 4 votes for Republican?
I think Mr. Dershowitz has convinced people you can assume the facts, as you said, most favorable to the government, and still find that the evidence would suggest there's a scintilla of reason.
Okay. Well, I've seen that today that there is 53 Republicans that are going to vote for Biden, Hunter Biden, to be called as a witness. So I think we can count on that if they do go forward. All right. So this says impeachment end. That's a statement, right? So attempts to send new articles to Senate to delay. Oh, they're going to try and send more. Oh, well, don't stop. We've got a couple more articles up our sleeve. Then we've got the State of the Union. Boomerang. Okay. And the rocket's red glare, bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Interesting. Well, let's see what's going to happen. Are they going to send new articles? Where are they going to come from? But anyway, anything can happen. Next one. Let's go up to here, 3807. Biden and the others think running for president will protect them from prosecution. Ms. Q said that before. Oh, back here. So that was in 2219. Resignations of public being sheltered from the full extent of their crimes. All right, say they're going to continue to hide behind sexual misconduct, or will the truth come out? Sexual misconduct is a public shelter to accept resignation. Right? Remember when all these people that are leaving, they're either retiring or resigning. Massive numbers of people that are resigning. We'll go take a look at that here in QMAPs on the left-hand side. That's down here, resignations. So, well, let's see. So they use this sexual misconduct. Oh, he made a pass at me in the office. That kind of thing. Oh, I'm going to resign now. Well, is there anything else to that? Probably. So let's see. So watch those announcing in 2020. POTUS, or for president, right, running. You cannot attack the political opponent. None are protected. None are safe. Q. And then, of course, the famous, these people are stupid. All right, let's move on. 3808. Sessions. The Justice Department has 27 investigations into epidemic of leaks. Fox News article here, worth remembering, whistleblower source 1 and 2 NSC. National Security Council. Okay. All right, this is on Fox from November 15th, 2017. Blast from the past. So just, I guess we're looking at that there was 27 leak cases going on back then. So a lot of people thought that Sessions wasn't doing anything, but he actually had a lot going on. All right, so let's see. Let's go to the next one. Okay, 3809. Will the Supreme Court rule on the legality of the impeachment articles drafted by the House Democrats? Well, that's a good question. I think that the Trump's attorneys are gonna send it there, even after this is all over, to basically just say it wasn't even valid. So Pelosi claims Trump violated the Constitution in weekly press briefing. 27,810 views streamed live 89 minutes ago. Speaker Pelosi holds her weekly press briefing. There's the YouTube link. We'll click on that.
Resolutions, the Ro Khanna resolution about there not being any war in Iraq without congressional approval, and the Barbara Lee resolution.
Well, we'll hold it there. It's 20 minutes long, so let's not wait for 20 minutes, and I don't know where that part is, so we'll just move forward here. So, this is the Supreme Court. Yeah, Supreme Court to hear case, RE, legality of impeachment articles drafted by the House, clean record. Failed to support Constitution, treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors, partisan politics. So basically this is where, it really, there were so many flaws in what the House did. They didn't hold a vote for the House to go forward with impeachment, meaning the whole body politic of the House being voting to make this happen. So I think that's a big, has something to do with this, right? So they didn't start off correctly. And then they had all these hearings in the basement, didn't allow the president to come in and do anything and call witnesses and cross-examine. After that was over, all the witnesses, right? Then they took it to the judicial and they opened it up for a few days and said, oh, Trump's welcome to come here. But he couldn't call witnesses, but he had to prove his innocence, which is an impossible thing to do. And that's not the way that the justice system works. You're not guilty until proven innocent. You're innocent until proven guilty. All right. So, all right, that's what this is all about. Let's just move forward. 3810. DOJ relents, says it would accept probation of Michael Flynn as he moves to withdraw the guilty plea. So Flynn is now they were playing hardball. They said, "Well, we're gonna put you in jail because you're withdrawing your guilty plea." Remember that he pled guilty because they were going after his children, right? And the legal expense as well on top of all this, them going after him. It was all made up. It was all just to frame him. All right, let's move on. Okay, 3811. Did Obama holdovers in NSC conspire with Schiff to plot impeachment before the House proceedings began? Yes, they did. I'll just answer that one. Move on here. That's from Rand Paul. Yeah, no, Rand Paul gave questions for the impeachment, and the Supreme Court Justice Roberts did not read the questions. Two of them, he attempted twice to get the questions across. Now Rand Paul came out and basically said, well, I'm going to put it in Twitter then. All right. My question today is about whether or not individuals who were holdovers from the Obama National Security Council and Democrat partisans conspired with Schiff staffers to plot impeachment of the president before the formal House impeachment proceedings. And who was they conspiring with? The whistleblower and quote-unquote informant. So that's what he's saying. Well, whether or not the individuals who were holdovers, whether they plotted impeaching the president. Seems like a good question, right? What else? So right here, are you aware? I think here's the exact question. All right, are you aware that House Intelligence Committee staffer Sean Misko had a close relationship with Eric? You're not supposed to say the name, right? Carmel guy. Eric the Carmel. While at the National Security Council together, one half. Oh, that's Security Council half. Oh, and here's what I mean. Are you is the continuation of it. And this. Let me get a little highlight on this. And then I'll just read this together. So, oops, what happened there? It kind of got large. I don't even know how I did that. That's the part that it was supposed to be enlarged when I hit the highlight. Okay, that got highlighted, and this one unhighlighted. So, I'm clicking on it to do the highlighting. Sorry about this. All right, I'm going to forget about the highlighting. How about that? How do I get this? I'll read it this straight through. Are you aware the House Intelligence Committee staffer Sean Misko had close relationship with Carmel while the National Security Council together, and are you aware on how to respond to the reports that Carmel and Misko had worked together to plot impeaching the president before there were formal House impeachment proceedings? All right. And then sorry about that. So my question is not about a whistleblower, as I have no independent information on his identity. My question is about the actions of known Obama partisans within the NSC and House staff on how they were reported to have conspired before impeaching process had begun. So yeah, so he wasn't doing anything other than bringing up people that were known holdovers. All right, so yeah, Rand Paul, he gets some kudos for this move. All right, let's move on. 3813. Remember, Schiff is holding back transcripts of the Inspector General of the Intel community. Oh, yes. This is because he keeps saying, oh, there's 17 witnesses. 17 witnesses. That's funny. Yeah, the 18th he doesn't want to talk about.
All 18 transcripts, is that right? There were 18 witnesses that the House prosecutors had for this, but you have not seen all 18 transcripts, is that right?
That's exactly right, Maria. The House managers kept putting up charts talking about the 17 witnesses, but there were 18. The 18th was the Inspector General of the Intelligence Community, Michael Atkinson. He was the second witness interviewed on October 4th. I was there. It's the one transcript out of 18 that hasn't been released. It's a 179-page transcript, and you can bet that if that transcript was helpful to Adam Schiff and the Democrats and harmful to President Trump, everyone would have seen it by now. But
okay. Yep. That is worth remembering, Q. All right, Michael Flynn is safe. Q proof. All right, so they're going to go back in time here. This is from April 27th, 2018. All right, drone in 30. Oh, no, sorry, drone. Done in 30. Okay, 30 in brackets, and then there's a Fox News article here. Okay, House report backs claim that FBI agents did not think Flynn lied. Right. Why would Flynn plead guilty to something untrue? Define testimony. Define on record. Who knows where the bodies are buried? Flynn is safe. Expand your thinking. Today is January 30th. Coincidences are fun. Thanks, DOJ. So I guess, what is the 30th? All right. Oh, that was the end of the Q drops. All right. Well, that is good. So now let me go ahead and flip this around for a moment. Someone's insistent. So let me. Okay. Move this to here. Let me flip this around to display. There we go. Now we're going to flip over to the WWG1 WGA.love group. Let's move this around a little bit. Let's play this split screen. I've been playing around with this setup. All right, let's turn off the stickers. There we go. All right, so here's the group WWG1 WGA.love. And of course, you look at the link, it's t.me WWG1 WGA. Then no dot is in there, LOVE. All right, so let's see, what do we have here? So Carol is pointing out, end of the month, boom. So let's see where we go here. Okay. Reset happening, Nasara. Oh, this should be fun, right? Let's see. Apparently, USA Inc. goes bankrupt around Friday, 1/30/1/20. All right. USA versus US.info. That would be United States of America Corporation versus United States of America Constitution. Okay. All right. Well, let's not get too much more deeper into this one. Let's just move on to the next. I don't know where that one's going to go. Well, here's the USA. Where's USA.info? Okay, I guess this will actually show you everything on the two different sides on how to look at them. Philadelphia is the capital in this one. Oh, that's interesting. I guess DC was formed, right? And that's the incorporated entity, the 1 square mile entity. All right, let's flip back over to here. Do this, make this easier to go back and forth. Oh. Watch that. All right, let's see. Operation Disclosure. Okay, let's see what's going on in Operation Disclosure. Who's pushing epidemics? What are their crimes? Well, crimes against humanity. Who's pushing the idea of an epidemic? Well, mainstream media is how they push the ball. Where does it come from? Well, we got World Health Organizations, right? We also know that the Gates Foundation had done studies on this particular virus, and so it's kind of interesting. All right. Well, let's move on. Flip back and forth faster. All right. It's another one on the coronavirus, Operation Disclosure. Coronavirus is Q coincidence? No such thing as coincidences, right? China says 7711 infected, 170 dead. All right. Just as perspective, the common flu in America kills way more people. So probably not as fast, but it does kill off a lot of people. Well, let's not get into the numbers. That'd be quite a lot of analysis. But I'm just kind of going through these things to get a flavor of what is being put here into the group. If you would like to join this group, the link is down below. Another Operation Disclosure. We got a lot of Operation Disclosures coming through here. I was very excited about them. Restore Republic via the GCR. Always a blast from the past. Oh yeah, I've heard that before. All right, let's not waste our time there. The portal update. End time madness. Might be a little more interesting. Oh, we're back to this again? Okay. I thought it was a Restored Republic when I first looked at it. Okay. We're now right before the dawn of a new golden age. A strong purification must occur before the planet can enter the light. This purification is called the end time madness. All right. Let's continue on. Okay. Tank getting answers to why things are the way they are. Kim can't probability not release funds until the end of this corruption. Well, I think that there's some element to that is something I've always said is that it's tied to these major events. We have to be cleared away. Are the Rothschild or the central banks going to start working with Kim? Are they going to allow these funds to come by? I'll talk. Well, I don't know if Tank's going to make it on. Again, they're sleeping. We could make this earlier. I used to do this starting about what 9 o'clock in the evening, which that is actually coming up. The February 9th will be the anniversary of our first video we did. Now it was before we started doing the countdown of 2 weeks for 15 days on the GCR, but you know it's coming up in just a little over a week. So, I'll go into this intel. So I've been talking about the massive amounts of money that's been moving from Japan to Russia, and really didn't know what much to think about it. Right? I didn't know if this was something that was you know, for the good or the bad, right? On what side, on who was doing what, and so we weren't getting very many good answers. But now, what Tank had said yesterday was this was Henry Kissinger working with the Yakuza, right, to send this money to Russia to get them to go along, right? We had, now of course that would, I don't think, be on Kim's side. Way back when we heard about this, that the Rothschilds were going to Russia to make a deal, to make the ruble the world reserve currency. And they wanted to basically, you know, use that money. At the time, it's about 350 billion that was moved from Japan to Russia. So I was leaning towards this being a good thing until yesterday when we got this information from Tank, by way of Kim, that this was coming from, you know, I said the Kissinger and the Yakuza. So when I checked on this, it turns out that the money was not collected, you know, say, or accepted, or however you want to say it was. It was moved there, but it was made pending, except for 10%. Now this is, again, wasn't about, we're not talking about the 350 billion that was sent, but what was coming in, and that was back in, I believe, December, where we first started talking about this. So I think that this is, the money that was coming from this week to Russia from Japan, and 10% is no longer pending. Now, that sounds like that's kind of like payoff money, right? If you or banking fees or something like that. Anyway, I wanted to run that by Tank today and see what we can come up with. So, I guess that was my big intel. All right, let's move on. Let's see what is this next one here. The House votes 236 to 166 to repeal the 2002 authorization of the war in Iraq. Well, that was interesting. So why is that being brought up right now? Do you see it happening? The corporate government created in 1871 will continue to exist as long as state of war or emergency exists. War on drugs, war on poverty, war on terrorism, war on Iraq. I get it, right? All right, the president does not terminate martial or emergency or or powers of executive order or decree. Right. So every year, the government or the president has to authorize the continued state of war. That's what keeps this thing going. Uh, this is like a duh moment. That's why Trump is shutting down all the wars around the world before the next election cycle, right? Then will he be in for his first, not president of the incorporated entity? This next time he'll be president of the republic? Maybe that's why he was again joking about he'll be running again in 2024 and 2028. All right, number 3, the people do not resist submission and terminate by restoring lawful civil courts, processes, and procedures under authority of inherent political powers of the people. All right, well, I think we're underway on that one. Thank you, Tank. Okay, let me go back over to, where is it? Oh, it's here. What else do we have here? Okay, the United States isn't a country, it's a corporation. All right, well, here's an article here. I'm not going to go through and read this. There's quite a lot in there. Well, this is like a book. If I started, this would be taking us an hour. Keep it going. A lot of detail in here. I appreciate it all there. I just can't read this on the show here. It would take too long. I had no idea how long this was. So something from Zero Hedge, all this? Yeah, I think he just quoted in there. All right, and it's continuing. All right, now let's start something new. So we have Roger Stone in there as well. Okay, what is this one? This one needs some research. Essentially, Adam Schiff is the son-in-law of George Soros. Wow, that wouldn't surprise me in the least. Not in the least.
Testified that there was no reason provided for the implementation of this hold.
Well, this is 4 hours. We're not going to go through that. I don't know how they're related. Where are we going to pull that up? Was that in the Senate trial going on? It brought that up. Interesting enough. All right. Dan, you'll want to discuss this thread tonight. Okay, well, let's see what this thread is. Breaking, you're not watching a trial, you're watching a tribunal. Chief Justice is not a judge, but a presiding officer. Under the corporation, the officer presides over the court. That's why Ken Starr said it was a tribunal. They're not acting on behalf of the people, but the corporate business. Interesting. That's a good catch. I like that. Ad hoc tribunals, similar to Admiralty and Maritime. So the so-called judge, a black robed referee, an actor, acting judge. Acting judge. And here's the acting judge. What do people think about that? Oh, he's just the guy standing in, acting as a judge. But we don't think like, Broadway actors. All right, let's see. The United States Supreme Court gave full immunity against both civil and criminal prosecution for perjury to judges, attorneys, court reporters, stenographers, law enforcement officers, and expert witnesses who testify for the state. Interesting. All right, well, we got the flavor of this one. Thank you. Let's move on. Yeah, we just kind of covered that. All right, who is this one? Are you awake? More? Is it like a roaring sound? They know what he is up to. Listen to Nancy. He is dismantling the Constitution of the United States, not the Constitution for the United States, which is real. Okay, let's see what she has to say.
If the president thinks that his or her presidents, they do so in the face of the president's team is there to dismantle the Constitution of the United States. And some of them are even lawyers. Imagine that you would say ever of any president, no matter who he or she is or whatever party, if the president thinks that his or her presidency, in this case his presidency, is good for the country, then any action is justified, including encouraging a foreign government to have an impact on our elections, which is exactly what our founders were opposed to and they feared. When they do so in the face.
Okay, so now she starts repeating. All right. Well, we know that Nancy's the one doing it, right? And the Democrats have all been accusing what they've been doing. Let's move on. Oh, well, I think I just clicked on the same one twice. Is that what it was? All right. Let's see. We're repeating the same one over and over. Well, okay. I think he's just, whoa. Hey, look at that. All right, what else we have here? Trump is not king. He is a real president. Yeah, it's funny that they all want to push this out there about being king, right? And I brought this up before, but I'll mention again, one of the judges in the impeachment inquiry in the House, they brought out the 4 judges, or the law professor, sorry, and the one brought up the titles of nobility. She was kind of making a slam against Baron Trump. You can't make him a baron. You can't make him royalty just by naming him that. You're not the king. It brings up the titles of nobility, prevents that. Well, the title of nobility prevents attorneys from being in the Congress. That's what it does. It's the real reason for the whole Civil War. Wasn't about slavery. That's just, the hype that they fed everyone to, further divide the country. Continue. Yeah, slavery was part of it, and no doubt it was a part. But if people actually want to slight the founding fathers and that, I know this number. It was 10 of the 13. Well, I guess it was 10-2. I don't know what the 13th colony. Let's vote on this. But when they were trying to come up with the first draft for the Declaration of Independence, they wanted to basically outlaw slavery, right? So the founding fathers, right, who may have held slaves, right, they wanted to abolish it. 10 out of 12. 2 of them wouldn't agree with some of the language that they were using, so they removed it. So, but in this this Titles of Nobility Act, it was really to stop the infiltration of the attorneys into the government, who were beholden to the Crown of England. That's what it was all about. And that's why they made this Titles of Nobility Act. As a nobility and honors, where if you had them, you could not be in Congress. So, anyway, well, let's continue here. Okay, it's about Sleepy Joe, Alice in Wonderland. All right, let's dive into this one. The walls are closing in. Sleepy Joe put out the SOS this morning. Hours later, the Mockingbird media rides to his rescue. Narrative shift. Alice Jean is activated to lure the masses back to Wonderland. All right, so let's see. So Lewis Carroll was the author, right? So now we have Jean Carroll, right? A woman who was accused Trump of raping her in the 1990s, right? And I know I saw one of the reporters asking the senators coming in there asking questions. He's tried to slip in this question, right? And he said, I want a real question. Push it aside. Now, she's talking about, she has a dress, right, with DNA on it, right? Remind you of something? Like Monica Lewinsky in the blue dress, the proof that she was with the president. Clinton, that is, President Clinton. And now the thing is she accused Trump of this way back when. Why didn't she basically bring up the dress back at that time? Why is she saying something now, right? All right, so let's see. Biden on impeachment trial. No one under oath or any other way has ever suggested that I did anything other than my job as vice president. Well, nobody's asking. The press isn't asking, so how can anyone suggest anything if no one's asking? It's about now scared Trump is on the run against me. It's like something out of Alice in Wonderland. So he says Alice in Wonderland, hey guys, gotta help. Bring in Carol. Here's Carol. All right, that's what this is all about. Next, what do we got here? Okay. The congenital liar Adam Schiff, best retweet ever. Okay. Sex counseling. Schiff is a congenital liar that has done nothing positive for America. So sex counseling by Don. So Donald Trump is saying Schiff blasted for not focusing on California homeless. His district is terrible shape. He is corrupt politician who only dreams of impeachment hoax. In my opinion, he's mentally deranged. All right. Let's just continue on now. What is this one? Uninterruptible remote device can remotely take over and crash planes. Interesting. Report by Phil McConnell reports Boeing, FAA, and have been aggressively suppressed. More on Phil McConnell. All right. It's this one. Kansas City Chiefs D. Frank Clark wore a Trump sweater to his Super Bowl press conference. Never forget. You all know the moment when real Donald Trump met Kanye. You know, a very historical moment in history. This is counterculture. All right, let's listen to what he has to say.
Oh man, I got it from my good friend in LA at Zeros. Zeros is a clothing store. And I'll never forget, man, y'all know the moment when Donald Trump met Kanye. You know, very historical moment in our history.
Now the question, are they laughing with him or are they laughing at him? It's the press. And so, a quick question, I think. Let's see what else we got here. Which one was that? Okay, let's see if I might be off, losing track of which one I clicked on. They look the same. Yeah, let's see, close enough. This one. Okay, look, it's number 55 who position DE class is coming. Troll DE equals 45. Oh, that's down below. That's why they all look similar, because they're stacked underneath each other. Well, that's pretty confusing when that happens. All right, let's go. This one is Joe M. Biden was the Ukraine mafia's highest-ranked agent in the U.S. government. In return for making his family rich, power levers were pulled to get U.S. taxpayer support to enable their corruption back home. His 2020 run was all an elaborate scheme to hide behind an impeachment sham. Yeah. The alleged whistleblower. Bum, bum, bum. Let's see. The same guy over here is the same guy sitting here with the caramel guy. Oops. What else here? Quite a lot of news coming in. Do you remember Greg Rubini? I think you should read this thread on which horrific things Eric Carmel guy did in the Ukraine 2014. Interesting. Okay. There's a thread reader here. So Carmel is involved in a much darker thing than you can imagine. So this seems this would be a good thread to go through. So Joe Biden, John Brennan, and Barack are also in it, and Victoria Nuland. The Ukraine Holocaust. Wow. February 14th, there was a corrupt d'état in Ukraine, a violent coup. There was a massacre in the main square of the capital, Kiev. 100 people were killed.
Выстрелы шли со стороны гостиницы «Украина».
Horrific. All right, there were snipers and windows of tall buildings surrounding the square, strategically placed. The snipers from the buildings shot both at protesters and police officers. It was a horrific massacre.
What is that? Huh? That window, facing directly to us. Yeah. Okay, get the fuck out of here.
While this is going on, anyone running across there can be shot.
Up there, okay, yeah. Okay, that window. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth row from the left. Second from the top, one that was open.
100 people were killed by the snipers, both Ukrainian, both police officers. That was the Ukraine Holocaust. The snipers were professional mercenaries. They were hired and paid to do that job. Their assigned job was to kill about 100. They had been given precise instructions. Hired by whom? Why 100 people had been brutally killed? Because the CIA director Brennan and Victoria Nuland, State Department, wanted 100 people killed. That would trigger a coup d'etat in the Ukraine, which in fact happened. This guy, evil guy. And who organized those snipers in Ukraine to make this massacre? Who hired them? Who paid them? Ah, the Carmel, aka the Carmel. See, they even have to put it, this misspelling in here so that these articles stay up. Well, that's why I'm going through and saying Carmel. So Carmel was assigned that task by CIA Director Brennan. Brennan was the CIA Director at the time in 2014. Carmel was and is a CIA operative. He was Brennan's CIA point man in Ukraine in 2014. Carmel was and is a CIA operative. Oh, I just read that? Yeah, I did. Sorry. Eric, okay, Carmel is a CIA operative. He speaks fluent Ukrainian and Russian. Carmel was perfect guy for the job and Brennan loyalist. Carmel has been many times in Ukraine. He flew several times to Ukraine with Biden. Okay, Carmel is the guy responsible for Ukraine Holocaust, which killed 100 people. This is why CIA and Deep State protects him. And this is why Deep State and CIA don't want Carmel's name to be spoken. This is the reason of the cover-up. Cover-up also the Chief Justice Roberts, who is compromised, blackmailed, and owned by CIA. That's why when I brought it up that Rand Paul put out those questions, he wouldn't read them. Seems something wrong with that. This is why there's a gag orders not to pronounce Carmel's name. Gag orders by the CIA. The horrific truth of Carmel, what Carmel did in Ukraine, cannot be revealed. Carmel hired and paid the snipers and organized Ukraine massacre under Brennan's orders. But who authorized Brennan to proceed with the massacre of the 100? Well, we know. Dun, dun, dun. The abomination. Well, that's quite a thread. Now we know. Thank you for bringing this out. So this took me to something that's going to take me over to another link about the coronavirus. All right. Schiff and Carmel, he's everywhere. A picture with Adam. Adam apple and caramel, that makes a caramel apple. Fascinating. Just add glasses. Those aren't real glasses, those are painted on, right? See if I can click on this. Not gonna let me get it that big, no. No, but those aren't real glasses, but that's what that's all about. All right. Well, this side, there's another picture here, but there's a couple of pictures. He gets around. Oh, he goes with Chucky, Nancy, and Warren, and Hillary. Can you imagine why he's protected? I got something good to show you on Schumer. I'll bring that up. I actually can bring it up right now. Yeah. Okay, ready?
One at a time.
And there's that he's losing it.
One at a time. One at a time.
Yeah. Comic relief. You need it sometimes, right? Oh, there's some more in here. Okay. He's got a lot of photos going on here. Not Carmel. A man in photo is Hugo Verges, Macron's special advisor for Latin America. Remember that picture that coming up saying that was Carmel? I guess that wasn't him. I met with Hugo, special advisor with Latin American President Macron. Okay. Yeah. You can see the differences. All right. It's an easy mistake to make there, isn't it? All right. Let's see what else we got here. Bum, bum, bum. Gone. Let's try this one down here. Boom. Also gone. Nope. This was from Paul Sperry, but we don't know what it was about. Probably Carmel related. Okay, so this is Instagram. Again, probably with that, it looks like Carmel, yep. Maybe those weren't fake glasses. They must be fake glasses. Okay, oh, well, here we go. No surprise here, right? All right. More. Okay, let's keep going here. Mid-North monitor locals and tech elder. Let's see what it says. Tech elders will take government to court. Okay. Raymond Au, one of the founding members of Traditional Ecological Knowledge Elders, TEK. Oh, it's a different kind of tech. All right. We're going, of course, to force the government to give up the promises made by Robertson Hurley Treaty of 1850, which the nations were granted the rights to hunt, fish, and gather berries and use plant medicines in traditional territories. The Constitutional Act of 1982 reaffirms those rights. The elders contend that these rights are being violated by the practice of aerial spraying that they believe is damaging to the plants, water, fish, and animals. They are also concerned about harm to humans. Well, that's excellent. Way to go. Okay, get some more in here. Oh yeah. And this is a box full of caramels. Oh, there, down here in the lower left-hand corner. Al Franken. A carameled Al Franken. My goodness. Boy, is this guy protected or what? Well, there's actually takes us to a YouTube. Let's see what's there.
大家好，我是陈秋实，现在是1月30号中午11点多。今天这个视频可能会录的有点长，有点啰嗦哈，请大家体谅。我之前的视频。
Well, listen. I can barely see what's behind the text beneath. Yeah, so we went through that part, Ukrainian Holocaust. This is everything we went through already. Yeah. Oh, we just got down to the bottom. Okay, what do we have here? There are a couple of Q drops on 8 Coon. I don't know if I'll be able to get to it, but I'll give it a shot. I think we've gone through all the Q drops today, but let's see what pops up here. Nope, not going to take me there. Just so you know, if I go to 8 Coon, it always takes me here. Right? Always takes me here. It redirects. So that was that one. One more, another 8 Coon, but it's going to take me, yeah, that takes me back same place. So I'd have to take that to the Brave Tor browser. Now I do like the Brave browser. I have one issue with it. I probably may have switched over completely to it because you do have the ability of earning some crypto by just using it, right? From ads and stuff that they present to you. You don't have to participate in it, but it's there. But I can't bring in over all of my other bookmarks and stuff. It doesn't allow me to try. It doesn't let me add it from my Opera browser. But anyway, I think that's good for today. We covered quite a lot. Let me go ahead and switch some things around here. Boom. All right, no Tank today. I guess we'll see him tomorrow. And so now I realize that he does not want a 5-day work week. He wants a 4-day work week. Anyway, I'm sure he's overloaded and is late at night when this is coming on. Maybe we need to reorder and do another time frame. We'll see. Whatever works. We just keep moving through. We'll be back tomorrow. Please do come in and join us at wwg1wga.love website. You can go ahead and help by doing a contribution. There's $1.11 a month, $8.88 a month, or $9.99 a year, and there's also some other contributions there. I also was thinking of adding some other features to that site in combination with gold grain coins, which are also doing well, which is good, and getting people in their hands gold coins on the blockchain. Each one equal to 1 grain of gold, which is like about the same as a cup of coffee at Starbucks. All right, with that, please go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and give us some thumbs ups. Move this on out into the world by sharing it. And let's see if we can get the numbers going up. I know that I've been talking about the numbers now. It's changed to 3 subscriptions a day. I'm so consistent. It really, really is amazing. Before it was like declining 1 a day. Then it became absolutely even. As many join would leave, right? and then it went to 1 a day. Now it's at 3 a day. Let's see how they want to adjust the algorithms now since I spoke about it. Anyway, that's how it works apparently. All right, everyone. We'll see you next time. Have a good day.